And now it's time for some deaf culture tidbits. Today we're going to talk about eye contact. In the deaf world, eye contact is very, 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 very important. But before we get into that, I want to tell you a little story about myself, why eye contact is so important, and how I learned this lesson as a young boy. My father is also deaf. And you know how it is, a lot of times, even in the hearing world, when parents are scolding the kid, sometimes what do the children do? They cover their ears. And what do you do as a parent? Oh, hey, I'm offended. That's not nice. Don't cover your ears while I'm speaking to you. So it was almost the same thing for me, but instead of covering my ears, I would close my eyes. And my father would try to say something, I would close my eyes. Ooh, my father looked at me and got upset. For a deaf person to close their eyes, that was rude. So my father had an idea. Okay, sure enough. And I would do this a lot. Every time my parents got mad, I would just shut my eyes, a lot like how kids do. So my father assessed the situation and said, okay, sure enough, one day it happened. I did it again. He was trying to get my attention and tell me something, and I looked at him and closed my eyes. So what did he do? Grabbed a cup of water, threw it on my face. Whoa. Okay. From then on out, I never shut my eyes. Always kept one eye open, never knowing, watching out if he was going to throw water. So for a deaf person, wow, it is very important to maintain eye contact and not to wander your eyes while you're speaking with the deaf person. It's considered rude. So anytime you're working with the deaf person, I would suggest you just maintain your eye contact if possible. And while speaking, try to look directly at them and not wandering around, because you have to remember, for a deaf person, they're analyzing everything: the body, the face, the eyes, the eyebrows. So the deaf person watches your body as a whole, and that's very, very important. And you might be speaking through an interpreter. So remember, don't speak to the interpreter directly. Speak directly to the deaf person. The interpreter will sign what it is you're saying, and the deaf person will look at the interpreter and back at you, at the interpreter and back at you. But it's very important that you maintain that eye contact. And again, to not have wandering eyes, because a deaf person might feel that if you're looking around, you might be bored with the conversation or feel like, this deaf person is beneath me. In our world, again, eye contact is crucial. It's just crucial. For a deaf person to deaf person conversation, it's always eye contact. A hearing person who knows deaf people will always maintain that eye contact and not wander around because it's considered rude. So again, I really suggest you maintain that eye contact. And even if you don't understand what the deaf person is saying, it's important that you make that effort to look at them and to try to analyze. Maybe write the words out, but watch them instead of just looking around and looking bored. The deaf person again will feel, hey, that's not very nice. It's kind of rude. So eye contact, very, very important in the deaf community. Very, very important. So try to maintain that eye contact.